can share with you later also if you have any doubt. Okay, so let us start with the class today. Today we are going to discuss about the torque experienced by the dipole when it is kept in a uniform electric field. Okay, so today's topic will be the torque experienced by the dipole when it is kept in uniform electric field. Now, when we talk about uniform electric field, what do you understand by uniform electric field? Uniform electric field means what? Yes.
When the intensity is same at all points.
Yes, when the exactly when the intensity is same as all at all the points, and you express the uniform electric field with the arrows which are same in size and which are equally spaced. So this indicates the uniform electric field. Okay, and now what we are going to do, we are going to keep this electric dipole in this uniform electric field. So here we can write this is minus q charge and this is plus q charge. Okay, and this is the direction of electric field. This is the direction of electric field. Now we know that the formula for torque is one force, that is the either force into perpendicular distance between these two charges. Now suppose if this is making an angle theta, the dipole is oriented and it is making an angle theta with the electric field. So what we have to do now, we have to find the perpendicular distance between these two charges. So perpendicular distance will be, what will be the perpendicular distance? This will be the perpendicular distance because this is theta. If this is theta, this will also be theta.
Yes.
And if this is theta, so the opposite side we say it as the perpendicular distance. So we are very much focused about this side. What will be the value of this side? Okay. And the length of the dipole, obviously, what we'll take, as usual, we are taking in the previous classes, the dipole length will be 2a. The dipole length will be 2a. Okay, so now we are focused about this side. This side we have to find out. Let us say this side is x. This x is the perpendicular distance. Okay, and if we talk about force, so on positive charge, always the force acts along the direction of electric field, and that will be equals to QE. F is equals to QE on positive charge, and F is equals to minus QE on negative charge, isn't it? F is equals to QE and minus QE. And these two forces, yes, these two, yes, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Oh, yes. And these two forces forms the couple of forces, which tends to rotates the dipole. These two forces, equal and opposite forces, opposite in direction and equal in magnitude. This is also QE acting on positive charge, and this is also QE acting on negative charge. So these forms a couple of forces which tends to rotate the dipole, which tends to rotate the dipole. Yes.
Dipole.
So we can write this tau is equals to F into x. X we have taken to be the perpendicular distance between the charges, and force we have taken F, the magnitude of force. Okay, so tau is equals to, we can write Fe. Now what will be the value of this x? So from here, if you see, if we apply the sine theta, trigonometric function sine theta, so sine theta will be equals to altitude upon hypotenuse, that is x upon 2a, yes or no?
Yes.
And from here we can write x is equals to 2a
2a
sine theta, yes. So from here we can write this tau is equals to F E into here only we can write. Why we are writing it again? I have given this bracket, so we can write Fe to a sine theta. ठीक है, it should not be Fe, it should be QE, है ना?
Yes.
Yes, F is equals to QE, so we should write this as QE, that is QE sine theta.
Hmm.
Okay, Q into E sine theta. Now we know that this 2QA can be written as dipole moment.
Yes.
So this since P is equals to 2QA is the dipole moment, electric dipole moment. So ultimately torque we get PE sine theta. This is the formula for torque. Tau is equals to PE sine theta. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No. Now, if we want to write in vector form, so in vector form, now this is PE sine theta. So this PE sine theta can be written as P cross E vector. Vector P
Yes.
cross vector E, the cross product of PE sine theta. Yes or no?
Okay. Yes, sir.
We can write this. Just hold on. Yes, we can write this PE sine theta. है ना? A cross B is equals to कितना होता है बेटा? A cross B is equals to AB sine theta.
Theta. Yes.
Yes. So P cross E is equals to PE sine theta. Now, if I ask you, what will be the direction of this torque? ये तो हमको magnitude मिल गया. This is the magnitude. Tau is equals to PE sine theta. Now, if we talk about the direction also, this is the vector form of torque. This is the vector form of torque. Now, if we talk about the direction of this torque, what will be the direction of this torque? So, what you will say? Now, we need to have an idea about the vector algebra. In the last class, we were there in vector class also, na? So, in the cross product, what I told that this torque is equals to PE. That means torque will be perpendicular to the plane.
Hmm.
If this is P vector and this is E vector, then this torque will be perpendicular to the plane containing P vector and E vector. So this will be the direction of torque. Yes, and we are moving from P to E. That it is written P cross E. So we are moving from P to E. I think you know the vector properties that P cross E cannot be written as E cross P.
E cross P. Yes.
Dot product, for dot product it is okay. If P dot E is equals to E dot P, if you write, that is okay. If we take two vectors, two sample vectors P and E, okay, you must have studied this property. A cross B is not equals to B cross A. ठीक है, and this again we'll discuss when we'll discuss the vectors, है ना? अभी हम vectors आप पढ़ ही रहे हैं, तो tomorrow again there will be a class of vectors, so you can attend that class and you will be able to know. Okay, so this is P cross E. So what will be the direction of torque? The direction of torque
Perpendicular to the plane.
perpendicular to which plane? Torque perpendicular to the plane containing P vector and E vector. Perpendicular to the plane containing P vector and E vector. So this is the magnitude. Tau is equals to P sine theta, and this is the direction. Torque is perpendicular to the plane. It is mentioned in this diagram that it is perpendicular to the plane containing P vector and E vector. Any doubt up to this point?
No, sir.
No. Now, if you proceed towards the maximum and minimum torque, okay. So if we talk about this theta, so if this theta, this electric field will tend to rotate this dipole. It will tend to rotate this dipole in this direction. This P vector will try to align along the electric field, and this Q vector will tend to align opposite to the electric field, opposite to the direction of electric field. And there comes the concept of stable and unstable equilibrium, but that we are not going to discuss today. That we'll discuss in the next class only. Today we'll discuss about the maximum and minimum torque. So there are three possibilities. Either you can write theta is equals to 90 degree. Now what is this theta is equals to 90 degree? Theta is equals to 90 degree means if this is the electric field and your dipole has been kept like this 90 degree, that means this is minus q and this is plus q. Okay, so this we can keep that if this is the direction of p vector, so we can write this theta is equals to 90 degree. If you keep this theta is equals to 90 degree, then what will happen? Tau is equals to p e sine theta. That is, tau is equals to p e sine 90. Now sine 90 is 1. So we can write tau is equals to pe. This is the maximum torque, tau max. Okay, are you getting my point? This is the maximum torque. Yes. In the second case, if you see that if theta is equals to 0 degree or 180 degree. Now what is this 0 degree or 180 degree? If suppose this is the direction of electric field and we are keeping the torque, we are keeping this electric dipole like this. Okay, here it is negative and this side it is positive plus q charge. So what will the direction of electric dipole moment, p vector? This is the direction of electric field. If you see the direction of p vector and the direction of electric field is same, that means theta is 0 degree. And if you take the opposite case, that if this is the direction of electric field and if you take the dipole to be having this opposite electric dipole moment, if this is minus q and this is plus q and the direction of dipole moment is like this p vector. So if you see now the direction is opposite, so we can write this as 180 degree.
180.
In both the cases, if you see, either you write tau is equals to pe sine 0 or you write tau is equals to pe sine 180 degree, both the values will become equals to 0 because sine 0 is also 0 and sine 180 is also 0. Okay, so this we write as the minimum tau. That is tau minimum is equals to 0. The tau maximum is PE and tau minimum is 0. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the torque. The formula for torque is tau is equals to PE sine theta. This is the magnitude. In vector form, you can write torque is equals to P cross E vector, P cross E vector. Okay. And after this, if you see the diagram, we have this diagram also to explain the direction that it will be perpendicular to the plane containing P vector and E vector. And this is the maximum value of torque, torque maximum, and this is torque minimum. Any doubt up to this point?
No, sir.
Yes. So this is the torque experienced by electric dipole when it is kept in uniform electric field.
Electric field. Okay.
Okay. So would you like to note it down or how to proceed?
Yes, sir. I'll take 1 minute only.
Yeah, you take 1 minute, no issues. You take 2 minutes time. And when you want me to put down this screen, you can just tell me so that I can scroll it down. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So please scroll down the slide. So I've written this also. Yeah. Done, sir.
Done?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, if we talk about if this dipole is kept in non-uniform electric field, now what will happen? Okay, if the electric dipole is kept in non-uniform electric field, now what will happen? Non-uniform, what is this non-uniform electric field? The field which may be increasing or decreasing in a particular direction. है ना, इसको हम बोल सकते हैं नॉन यूनिफॉर्म इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड्स आर नॉट देयर आर टू पॉसिबिलिटीज. Either suppose this is the dipole, this is minus q, this is plus q, and this is the direction of electric field, and this is the direction of increasing electric field. Suppose the electric field is increasing from negative to positive. I can write this that this E vector is the increasing field towards right, increasing field. Okay, now if this E vector is increasing towards right hand side, so what will be the direction of force on F or on this positive charge? Towards right, because the force acts on the same direction in which the electric field is applied for positive charge, and for negative charge it will be opposite.
Yes.
And if you see the direction of dipole also, the direction of dipole will be in the same direction. This will be the direction of dipole moment. This will be the direction of dipole moment. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
yes. So what will be the direction of net field? This is the direction of increasing field. This is the direction of increasing field, that is towards right. Force acting on minus q charge is towards left. Force acting on plus q charge is towards right. Now, if I ask you what will be the direction of net force, so what you will say? Net force किस तरफ लगेगा? What will be the direction of net force? This is the case in which electric field is parallel to electric dipole moment. This is case number 1, and this electric field is increasing in the right hand direction. So now in this case, what will be the direction of net force?
It should be towards electric field.
Yes, towards increasing field will be, see, if you see here, the field is increasing. Yes, the field is increasing, and the dipole moment is also in the same direction. So we can say that net force will act towards right.
Yes.
Now if we reverse the case, if we take the anti-parallel case, suppose this is your positive charge, now this is your negative charge. Okay, now if you see, the direction of dipole moment has been reversed.
Yes.
Now this dipole moment will be in left hand side direction. The direction of electric field will take the same. It is the increasing field, like this, in the same direction. The field is increasing in the same direction, that is from left to right. So we haven't changed anything for electric field, but we have changed the direction of electric dipole moment. Okay, now in this case, if you see, what will be the direction of force on positive charge? It is positive charge. Okay, so force on positive charge will be in towards right hand direction. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
And force on this negative charge will be in
Left
this
hand
direction.
side.
This
Yes.
will be F minus Q, and this will be F plus Q. Yes or no? So in this case, if you see, this E is again increasing in the positive right hand side direction. Okay, so what will be the direction of net force in this case? Now if you see that in this case, the E and P are in parallel position, that is parallel to each other, and here it is anti-parallel with respect to each other. So the direction of net force changes from left to right. So in this case, the direction of net force is from left to right, and in this case, the direction of net force is from right to left.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and this is the case when the electric dipole is kept in non-uniform electric field. Okay, in this the field is increasing in both the cases. In both the cases, this is the direction of increasing field. In this also the field is increasing from left to right. In this also the field is increasing from left to right. The only thing is what we did in this, the direction of dipole moment is along the field. In this, the direction of dipole moment is opposite to the field.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
ये नेट फोर्स का आपको समझ में आ गया क्या? मतलब आर यू थरो विद दिस कॉन्सेप्ट कि व्हाई दिस नेट फोर्स हैज बीन?
Yes. No, sir. I
आप
wanted to ask.
पूछते क्यों नहीं हो बेटा आप? है ना, मुझे पता है कि आपको नहीं आया होगा. आई वाज अवेयर ऑफ इट. मैंने सिर्फ आपको ये एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया कि इसमें डायरेक्शन सेम है तो इसमें राइट हैंड साइड चला जाएगा और इसमें डायरेक्शन ऑपोजिट है तो इसमें लेफ्ट हैंड साइड आ जाएगा. नो, ठीक है, इसमें ये जो हम बार बार लिख रहे हैं ना, इंक्रीजिंग फील्ड,
Yes.
दिस प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. व्हाई? सी, आपको इसको नीचे थोड़ा सा स्लाइड करके बताता हूँ. When we are talking about this charge minus q, earlier we have kept this minus q and this is plus q, and this is the direction of increasing field. This is the direction of increasing field. Now if you see here that if this is f plus q and this is f minus q, force acting on negative charge, now this field is increasing towards this direction.
Yes.
Are you getting my point? This field is continuously increasing towards the positive charge direction only.
Okay.
Okay, and now this field is increasing towards positive charge direction, so this force will continuously increase. Are you
Okay.
getting my
Yes.
point? Are you getting my point? So that is why the net force direction is towards right. But in the opposite case, if you see that this is minus q charge and this is plus q charge, sorry, we need to take it to the reversal opposite. So we have to keep this as a positive q charge and this as the negative q charge. Okay. Now in this, if you see the force on, if this is the increasing field, if this is the increasing field, increasing, yes, it is increasing field. In both the cases, we have taken the increasing field. Now, if you see here that the force on positive q charge will be in the same direction,
Yes.
the force on the negative q charge will be in the same direction.
Yes.
That is towards left only. Here also it is towards left. Here also it is towards left.
Yes.
But if you see now, this field is increasing from left to right. Okay, if this field is increasing from left to right, so it will favor this force to be more. Are you getting my point? And that is why the net force is in this direction.
Okay.
तो जिस डायरेक्शन में द कॉन्सेप्ट इज कि जिस डायरेक्शन में ये इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंक्रीज हो रही है उस डायरेक्शन के फोर्स को ये फेवर करेगी. इफ इट इज पॉजिटिव सो इट विल फेवर पॉजिटिव, इफ इट इज नेगेटिव सो इट विल फेवर द नेगेटिव चार्जेस.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? So that is why the direction of net force in this direction, in this case, will be in this direction. ठीक है, इसका डायपोल मोमेंट तो ठीक है कि डायपोल मोमेंट से तो लेना देना था ही इसका. वी हैव टू कंसीडर द डायपोल मोमेंट आल्सो, बट दिस इज द एक्चुअल रीजन फॉर फाइंडिंग द नेट फोर्स. नेट फोर्स का मतलब क्या होता है? नेट फोर्स मींस लार्जर फोर्स माइनस स्मॉलर फोर्स.
Yes, sir.
लार्जर फोर्स माइनस स्मॉलर फोर्स. ठीक है, तो लार्जर फोर्स इसमें जो है, दिस इज इन द राइट हैंड साइड, दिस इज द लार्जर फोर्स. So in this larger force minus smaller force, if you get, so this is the larger force. So the direction of force will also be towards the larger force. So direction is towards right. In this force, F minus Q is the larger force. So the direction is towards left.
Yeah.
So this is the simple concept that we have studied in class 9th and again in 10th and again in 11th. The F net, that is the net force, will be calculated as larger force minus smaller force. That's it.
Smaller force.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So both the cases we have discussed that if the net force is if the electric dipole is kept in the uniform electric field, then we discussed about torque. If the dipole is kept in non-uniform electric field, increasing or decreasing from any of the side, so this is the case. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Again, you can take a minute time and you can just note it down, and then we'll proceed to the Gauss law.
Done, sir.
Very good.
Yes, true.
Okay, shall we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we may talk about Gauss law. Okay, so what do you understand by Gauss law? What is Gauss law? Why we use Gauss law? So before Gauss law, we need to understand a very important terminology, that is electric flux. So what do you understand by electric flux?
So it is the number of electric field lines that can
Yes.
pass through a given area or
Yes.
a particular house.
Exactly. It is the number of electric field lines, passing normally.
Yes.
And a number of electric field lines passing or associated normally, that means at 90 degree through a particular area. Okay, number of electric field lines passing normally through a particular area is called electric flux. ये तो definition हो गई. Now how to understand it? So you can see this diagram. If I draw this area and if I draw this area, and if I ask you ki for which area, suppose this is A1 and this is A2, so for which area that we have considered electric flux is more? So definitely you will say
A2?
that for phi A2, that is flux for area
Yes, sir.
2 is greater than flux through area 1. So definitely what you said is absolutely correct. The number of electric field lines crossing a particular area, these are the electric field lines crossing or associated with a particular area normally, then that is called electric flux. Now if this is the area, I'll just draw. Okay, या इसको थोड़ा सा और tilt करूँगा. Just draw it this again. Just draw it. And if the electric field lines are crossing like this, okay, and suppose this is the area vector for this particular surface. Now what is area vector? Area, actually the area is a scalar quantity, but in this case we take area as a vector quantity, that is a vector which is drawn perpendicular to any surface. This is what we call area vector. So what is area vector? Area vector is nothing but the vector drawn perpendicular to the surface is called area vector. Okay, now if you see here that electric field lines are making an angle theta with this area vector. So in this case, how to calculate flux? Okay, in this case, how to calculate flux? So how will you calculate flux in this case if electric field is making an angle theta with the area vector? How will you calculate? Oh, Lavanya,
So
what?
we can split the area vector into two components.
Why area vector? Electric field vector is inclined, no?
Electric field vector.
Yeah. Yeah, the electric field vector can be resolved into rectangular components, definitely. We can do this, that this will be, this is theta, so this will also be theta. If you extend this, so this will be theta, so this can be written as e cos theta, and this perpendicular, this vertical component can be written as e sine theta. Now we can see that along the area vector, which component is there? E cos theta. So we can write this a into component along a vector.
Yes, e cos theta.
Component along a vector, that is area vector. So we can write here e cos theta, and then we can write phi is equals to e a cos theta, or phi is the symbol for flux.
Yes.
So phi is equals to dot product of E dot A. This we can write?
Yes.
Yes. Phi is equals to E dot A. SI unit for flux is?
Newton per coulomb meter square. Or Weber, yes.
Or Weber. Yes. Okay, Newton मीटर स्क्वायर पर कूलम जो है आपने वो यहाँ से फाइंड आउट किया होगा, है ना, कि इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का जो एसआई यूनिट होता है, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एसआई यूनिट E is equals to F upon Q. So you have written Newton per coulomb for electric field, and for area it is meter square. So Newton meter square per coulomb. So this is also correct. Newton meter square per coulomb. है ना, ये आपने कैलकुलेट किया. Similarly, phi is equals to E dot A. So E can be written as F upon Q into A. So this F is Newton per coulomb and into meter square. So Newton meter square per coulomb is the SI unit, or you may write it as Weber. Okay, so this is all about electric flux. Okay, in this only we can discuss about, yes, in this only we can discuss about strong field region and weak field region. What is a strong field region and what is weak field region? So if I draw a diagram like this. In this diagram, if I take two areas here, if we take this area and if we take this area. So in this, if this is area 1 and this is area 2, so which region is considered to be the strong field region and which region is considered to be the weak field region, and why? In this, if you see,
one should be the strong field
one will be the strong field region. Why?
Because the maximum number of
No,
electric
not
field lines.
maximum. Electric field lines are for yes, concentration. Definitely concentration. In this, if you see, the strong field region is this. Why? Because electric field lines are relatively closer. Electric field lines are relatively closer for area 1, and this, in this, see, the electric field lines are relatively farther with respect to each other. So we can write this as weak field region, weak field region, strong field region and weak field region. Okay, are you getting my point? Yes.
Yes.
So would you like to note it down again?
Yes, sir. One.
Yeah, sure.
Done, sir.
Very good. So now we can proceed towards Gauss law. Okay, Gauss's law or Gauss law. So can you tell me why we use Gauss law and what is the significance of Gauss law? And with this, we also need to understand about the Gaussian surface, significance of Gaussian surface. We'll see it, Gaussian surface. So what do you understand by Gauss law? What this Gauss law gives us?
Sir, Gauss law. It is the
Yes.
electric flux of a closed surface, and
Hmm.
it is divided by the permittivity of the charge enclosed in that area.
Yes. So Gauss law gives us the flux of or flux enclosed or flux through the closed surface or flux through any surface which is equals to charge enclosed within the surface. Which surface? Gaussian surface upon absolute permittivity. That is, Gauss law states that the flux through any surface is equals to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed within the surface. This is Q enclosed. This is what Gauss law says. Are you getting my point? Okay, so this Gauss law says that the flux through any closed surface, if this is the point charge Q kept over this, so if you see the directions of electric field, this will be radially outward because of the positive point charge. So this you can consider that this is the flux. So the flux for this particular case, the flux is equals to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed within the surface, and this we are going to prove also. Okay, so this is the statement of Gauss law.
Yes.
This is the statement of Gauss law. Now, how to prove it? Now we have to prove this phi is equals to Q upon epsilon naught. So how to prove it? We will consider one diagram here. If you see this diagram, this is charge Q, and just now we had to talk about Gaussian surface. Now what is Gaussian surface? Gaussian surface is the hypothetical surface, again hypothetical surface which is symmetrical to the given charge distribution. Like this is the point charge. So point charge के लिए symmetry कैसी होगी? What kind of structure is there for point charge? It is a sphere.
Yes.
So this is the Gaussian surface for this particular point charge. Okay, so Gaussian surface is it's a hypothetical surface which is symmetrical to the given charge distribution. Like for wire, it is cylindrical. For sheet, it is cuboidal. For point charge, again, volumetric charge इसको बोलते हैं, that will be again spherical. Okay, so the Gaussian surface is the charge which is Gaussian surface is the hypothetical surface which is symmetrical to the given charge distribution. So now we have to prove it. So proof, how we are going to write a proof for this? Very simple it is. Ultimately, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate
Flux.
flux. Now, as per the definition, just now we have seen, as per the definition, mathematical definition of flux, what we have written? Phi is equals to E A cos theta.
Cos theta. Yes.
Okay, now what is cos theta here? Theta is the angle between electric field and area vector? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Now, if you see, we have to find out the angle between electric field and area vector. Now, this is a positive point charge. So, for positive point charge, we know that the electric field lines acts always radially outward.
Outwards. Yes.
It is radially outward. Now, for this particular area, if we talk about, if this surface we talk about, and if we take it as ds. So with this, with respect to this, if you see that ds vector will also be radially outward, because area vector can be drawn at any point, and again this is normal to the surface, so it will be also be radially outward. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you see the direction of electric field here and the direction of ds vector, according to this diagram, I should write phi is equals to E ds. Instead of area, we have taken a very small surface under consideration, and if we have taken this ds, so I should write here d phi.
D5.
Yes, so E ds cos. Now electric field and area vector are in same direction. Electric field is also radially outward, area vector is also radially outward. So what should I write here?
0.
0, because they both are in same direction. So d phi is equals to E ds. Cos 0 is 1.
Yes.
Now what we have to do, it is d phi, and now we need the value of phi. So what should I do?
Differentiate.
इंटीग्रेशन बेटा. d phi,
Integrate. Sorry.
yes,
Sorry.
d phi से phi चाहिए ना, तो इंटीग्रेशन करना पड़ेगा. तो d phi is equals to closed integral. Why closed integral? Because we are considering this closed surface, the closed integral EDS. Okay, now what is the formula for electric field due to point charge? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. Now what is r square? R square is the radius of this Gaussian surface. We have taken this r to be the radius of this Gaussian surface. That is why we have written q upon r square, because we are calculating at this point on the surface. So this is the formula for this electric field, closed integral of ds. Now if you see here that ds, integral ds, so this can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. This can be kept outside the integral because there is no s term here which can be integrated. There's no s term here, so simply we can write integral ds. Now integral ds means what? This ds is the small, this ds is the smallest part of this particular area, surface area. Now we are going to integrate this for the complete sphere. So integral ds can be written as surface area of the sphere. Yes, 4 pi square. So phi is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square into 4 pi r square. This integral ds can be written as 4 pi r square, surface area of sphere. So 4 pi and r square gets cancelled out, and you got the value to be q upon epsilon naught. So phi is equals to q upon epsilon naught. Now this is the proof of Gauss law. This we have proved. If phi, that is flux, will be equals to q upon epsilon naught ही होगा.
Okay.
Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Yes, and this diagram, it's better. This I have just drawn to explain you. But if you draw this diagram like this, so that will be little clear to you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can draw this much portion. This is the direction of electric field, and this you have taken the area vector. Okay, so the statement of Gauss law is flux through the closed surface is equals to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed within the surface, and this is the proof that we have considered. The radius of this Gaussian surface is r. Okay, so you can just take 2 minutes time again and you can just note it down.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay. Now, what we can do, we can derive Coulomb's law from Gauss law.
Okay.
How? How we can derive Coulomb's law from Gauss law? Have you derived it? Coulomb's law from Gauss law?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So again, now that will be homework for you. आप मुझे देख के बताओगे कि कैसे डिराइव होगा. मैं बताऊंगा आपको, डोंट वरी, है ना. आई विल ऑल्सो डू ऑन द
Yes, sir.
स्क्रीन फॉर यू. ठीक है, बट
Okay.
दिस टॉपिक एटलीस्ट एक दिन में एक होमवर्क तो मिलना ही चाहिए, है ना. सो
Yes,
दैट
sir.
विल बी अ होमवर्क फॉर यू. नाउ इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द एप्लीकेशन पार्ट,
Yes.
application of Gauss law. Application of Gauss law. So in this, the first application that we'll see, we need to find out the electric field. The first application is we need to find out electric field due to an infinitely long wire. Infinitely
Yes.
long wire. Infinitely peaceful. Infinitely long wire. So if this is the wire, you can consider this is your wire which is given. Why we write this infinitely long wire? What is the purpose of writing? अगर long wire ही लिख देते तो कोई फर्क पड़ना था क्या? Now this is a long wire. Why we write this word always infinitely long wire?
So I don't know.
You don't know. इसमें भी बहुत बड़ा लॉजिक है जो हम लोग ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. हालांकि लॉन्ग वायर, इफ आई टेक दिस पीस ऑफ वायर, अब अगर इतना बड़ा वायर है तो इससे करंट कैसे फ्लो होगा?
Yeah.
मैग्नेटिज्म में भी आपने देखा होगा कि व्हेन यू आर फाइंडिंग द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एंड द फोर्स बिटवीन टू पैरेलल एंड एंटी पैरेलल वायर्स कैरिंग करंट,
Yes.
है ना. एक में रिपेल करता है, एक में अट्रैक्ट करता है. दैट आल्सो
Yes,
विल
sir.
सी. हालांकि आपने वो पोर्शन मुझे लिख के नहीं भेजा है मैग्नेटिज्म वाला, बिकॉज यू ओनली सेड इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक्स, बट यू मस्ट हैव सीन दैट टॉपिक, है ना. आपने पढ़ा
Yes,
होगा
sir.
उसमें. तो उसमें भी आप
Yes.
देखेंगे कि उसमें भी आपने इनफाइनाइटली लॉन्ग वायर ही लिखा होगा. Okay, the reason is कि in that, if the infinitely long wire is carrying current, a wire, simple wire of a fixed length cannot carry current क्योंकि सर्किट ही कंप्लीट नहीं होगा.
Yes.
So hypothetically, again this is a hypothetical concept, but we write this infinitely. तो infinite लिखने से क्या होगा कि ये जो वायर है वो कहीं पे इन्फिनिटी पे जाके आपस में मिलेंगे और ये करंट फ्लो होना स्टार्ट होगा. Because of a wire of this fixed, suppose इतना अगर आपने लेंथ ले लिया, so this piece of wire cannot carry current.
No.
Until unless you keep it infinitely long कि ये बहुत बड़ा वायर है, and then it will carry current. So that is why we always write infinitely. Infinitely आप draw नहीं कर सकते. We always draw a certain fixed length of wire, but we say infinitely because a finite length of wire cannot carry current.
Okay.
Okay, so this electric field due to infinitely long wire. Now if this wire we take, and if this wire is carrying a charge plus positive charge. This is a positively charged wire. And suppose this is a linear charge and a positively charged wire, that means a linear charge distribution. So if this wire is carrying a charge density of lambda coulomb per meter, okay, the charge density of this is lambda coulomb per meter. Now if I ask you that what kind of Gaussian surface will draw for this wire?
Cylinder.
Why cylinder? Because this is a long wire, and
Long
wire
wire.
always, yes, it is a long wire, and wire generally they are in the form of cylinder only. So we'll take this cylinder as the Gaussian surface. So this is your cylinder as the Gaussian surface. Now in this cylinder, if you see, how many surfaces are there?
3.
3 surfaces. Which one? Upper surface. So we'll take this upper surface vector to be ds1 vector. Then we'll take this curved surface. So again, from this surface also the area vector will be 90 degrees. So we'll take this ds2. And this third surface again will take the perpendicular area vector ds3. So ds1 is the area vector for the upper surface, ds3 is the area vector for the bottom surface, and ds2 is the area vector for the curved surface. Okay?
Yes.
Any doubt up to this point?
No, sir.
No. Now coming to the direction of electric field. Why? Because we are going to apply Gauss law, और Gauss law में हमको flux के दो कॉन्सेप्ट अप्लाई करने पड़ेंगे. फर्स्ट, फ्लक्स एज पर गॉस लॉ. सेकेंड, फ्लक्स एज पर definition. Okay, now ultimately the concept for all the applications, जितने भी आप applications पढ़ेंगे उसमें concept same है. First we need to write flux using Gauss law. Second we need to write flux using this formula, and lastly we need to equate it. Are you getting my point?
Okay, sir.
Yes, the third step is to equate it. Now in this, if you see, this is a positively charged thin wire. So what will be the direction of electric field? Now this is a cylinder. So for cylinder also the direction of electric field will be radially outward. This is the direction of electric field. Now if you see, what is the angle between ds1 and E vector?
90.
90. What is the angle between ds3 and E vector?
Also 90.
90. What is the angle between ds2 and E vector?
0.
0. So we can write here, as per the definition, phi is equals to E dot ds1 vector. This is for the upper surface. Then we can write E vector dot ds2. This is for the curved surface, and we can write flux is equals to E vector dot ds3. This is for the bottom surface. And in this we can write flux is equals to E dot ds1 cos 90 plus E dot ds2 cos 0 plus E dot ds3 cos 90. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now after this, cos 90, two terms are there for cos 90, so this will be 0, and only you are going to get E ds2. And if we are writing E ds2, we should write here d phi. Okay? Are you getting my point? Yes. Now in this again, if we need the value phi, and we need the value phi. So phi is equals to closed integral of E dot ds, that is E ds2. Okay, now electric field can be kept outside. So this E and ds2 is again integration ds2. Integral ds2, that means 2 pi RL for cylinder.
Yes, sir.
R is the radius of this Gaussian surface. So we got this to be phi is equals to E dot ds2. This close, if E can be kept outside, so ultimately it will be integral ds2. Integral ds2 will be E into 2 pi RL. Are you getting my point? This is equation
Yes, sir.
1. This is equation 1, and
One.
this we have calculated from
Gauss law.
from definition beta.
Oh, definition.
From Gauss law
Okay.
कहाँ? अभी Gauss law तो apply नहीं किया है ना?
Okay.
Next we'll go for Gauss law. Now the second step is from Gauss law. From Gauss law, what you can write? Phi is equals to Q upon
E naught.
epsilon naught. Now Q can be, for linear charge, Q can be written as lambda L.
Yes.
If this is the length of the wire, that is length of the Gaussian surface. So can I write Q is equals to lambda L? Previous concept, charge density wala. Because lambda can be written as Q upon L. Charge per unit length is the linear charge density. So from here you
Yes,
can
sir.
write Q is equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught.
Epsilon.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now this is equation 2. Now both the equations can be equated because both the equations are for flux. So we can write
Yes.
this E into 2 pi RL is equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now this L and L get cancelled out and we get E is equals to lambda upon 2 pi R epsilon naught. This is the magnitude of electric field due to linear charge. Are you getting my point?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes. E is equals to lambda upon 2 pi R epsilon naught. Now if you want to write in vector form, so how will you write it in vector form? How will you write it in vector form? Now if you see, yes, unit vector. So unit vector, you can take that this is the direction of, this is the radius that you have taken. So you can take this, the direction of unit vector will be same as the direction of electric field.
Yes.
Okay, electric field का जो unit vector है हमने r cap ले लिया. So you can write this in a vector form like this, that E vector is equals to lambda upon 2 pi r epsilon naught r cap. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the value, that is the magnitude of electric field. E is equals to lambda upon 2 pi r epsilon naught, and this is in a vector form. We have kept here the r cap. This first term indicates the magnitude, and this second term indicates the direction of the given electric field.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is the first application of Gauss law, electric field due to infinitely long wire.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Yes. So you can just note it down, and rest of the part we'll discuss in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, then you can just note it down and then we'll wind up the class today.
Okay, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, this one also, the bottom part.
Yes, sir. I have written. Yes, sir.
Okay, you have written. Okay, then you can just go through now. For homework for you is you need to derive Coulomb's law from Gauss law. Just try it and then we'll discuss in the next
Okay,
class.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then see you tomorrow. Okay.
Bye, sir.
Okay, bye bye. Take care.